Good morning and happy Thursday to everybody. Like a throwback Thursday. Now today I thought we're gonna do a ready, set, draw. Pretty much the flow. Some of the ideas of coming with knife designing and drawing is the fun of actually putting an idea and getting it on paper and getting it real so we can test and actually create something that is fun to do. So I was thinking about kitchen knives, because lately with the beautiful things that Jason Knight was creating. This is a regular one. It's nothing special here. But one of the ideas of that is that particular arc that they have with a kitchen knife and a small handle that you can use and cut stuff, especially when you're cutting stuff that way. Kitchen knives are very effective for chopping, cutting, and of course, if it's got a point, get them thrust. So in creating a drawing of that, let's think about the point of the pencil being the way you're going to be indexing the point. So I go point to point. So we'll put 2 points in this particular set of drawing. Now we look at the arc of the blade that's created for that. So let's make almost like a fish-eye kind of drawing when you're putting the arc of the blade. Now this is like shop drawing class 101. I'm not a great drawer, but just to get the flow of things. So what I did was start to put like an arc thing, right? To arc where my hand is. So if I thought of where my hand would be in the tip, that's what sorry about that. That's what I've got going from point to point, just to get the flow. As the flow goes, I look at where the cutting edge of the arc is. I measure my hand right into that drawing and see where my index finger would become the actual guard for this, as opposed to putting a cross guard. I have to have something to actually catch in there, like a stop. Otherwise, my hand would end up here. Not a good spot to have that. So we're going to arc that thing right in there. And I am a proponent of some kind of a yin and yang drawing kind of guy. So what we're doing here is to get the flow of a blade. As you can see, the yin and yang kind of flow. You start putting that because for me, when I start creating art as work, I like to see a blade that starts to look and feel cool. So you see the yin and yang kind of deal? So within that yin and yang, I start to see the inspiration of a particular drawing that starts to give me a feel of where I would like to see the blade flow. Because this is, to me, it's like having fun, right? For the art of flow. So, can't see anything, pen is too thin. Oh, sorry, let me darken my drawing here. Alright, so if you've got all this, and remember, this is just a rough sketch of what I'm doing, just to get fluid with the flow of the lines. Can you see that? The flow of the lines. I'm going to put the finger swell right there, because this is where I'm going to start to think about putting the stop of the blade. That's what would happen where the stop of the blade is. So if I look at my finger right here, and let's see if you can see the outline. You can see that stop of the blade would here, but look at the arc that you find right there. That's where the belly of the knife begins to flow into that particular arc. So when you start putting that in there, you start to see that the arc of the hand starts to form in there, and you would have something that has to stop right here in the bottom, and that would be the butt end of the knife. Also, you can switch it around and you can hold it this way, right? So when you start putting these things together, some of your comments are hilarious, guys. Draw me okay, never mind. I'm not going to go follow with that. But the idea about the flow of a drawing is to have fun in its creation. So when you start putting in all these increments, go, what do I want to find about the blade? Do I want, now I can fit my hand in there, I can feel the grip, I can see where the arc is, and as you can see, the arc on that part over there doesn't quite match with mine, so then I would adjust it and start to draw other things and start creating a stop of the handle, which I'm adding over here. And now you start to see where the flow started. The idea of the yin and yang, which is, just the half point of where my hand would be, how my hand would fit right there to grab, but to follow the lines and contours, I would have to start to put the swell in there, and that's where I would cut it in, unless I wanted a pointed end on my knife. And conversely, if it's this way, how would it feel if I grabbed onto that blade? There's my pinky working as the guard where it stops, and my thumb would just roll on over and feel comfortable to that. It still keeps in line with almost like a kitchen knife cutting tool with that design. And before you know it, you have a simple fluid-like design that flows with the hand. So when you pick it up, it's not too square or anything, it just flows. And it's just one of the many things that you can do when you're starting your design to feel good. Once you have it done on paper, you would then put it on cardboard. If you want, glue it on there. And then you hold on to it and you feel it. You know, you feel what it feels in the hand. A lot of times people pick up a knife. Yeah, it feels good. What did you just do? What do you mean by feel good? What do you mean by balance? Of course, when it's still a cardboard drawing or paper, you can't really get the feel when you start to actually create the weight of metal and everything else. So all in all, it's a fun thing to do because drawing is where you get your ideas into paper. And then you enjoy it. Just have fun with it. Make all the mistakes in the world and feel good. I like to draw because it's an expression of my energy onto paper. I get the flow of things. And you'll find your own style. The worst thing is don't try to be perfect. When you try to be perfect, once again, we as adults, we just don't ever want to be in the moment and experience things. When I actually got to take a knife making class, which was about, I don't know, a couple of months back in November, my first knife making class, complete from the course, guess what I did? I took the course not to make a knife. I took the course to make every mistake there was. When I'm in here, all I wanted to do was just hammer. Oh, I want to see it get super hot. And just hammer. Hammer into shape? Nah, because now you're trying to already manipulate. I want to experience what hammering is about. Make all the mistakes, just like when I'm drawing. Make all your, whatever happens, you have an eraser to fix it later on. Enjoy the process. So this is just one of the many ways that you can create a drawing. And I'll keep working on this and see what we come up with. Doug Marcaida here, Morning Cup of Joe. Let's start the day and have a good one, guys.